Hey, this video channel is different careers with Kate Ned. And again, you probably won't see my face. Right now, I am a licensed massage therapist, but who knows what I will do in the future. So today, again, we're going to go over another continuing education course, Introduction to Ashiatsu, Part 1, Bars-Free Seated Techniques. Ruthie Hardy is the instructor. It was worth 1 CE hour. Let's see what the class entails. Ashiatsu therapy, barefoot massage, has been practiced around the world for centuries. The unique course introduces you to the history of barefoot massage, shares the origin of deep foot Ashiatsu therapy, and teaches you several seated barefoot massage techniques you can perform without installing overhead parallel bars. You'll receive a wonderful introduction to Ashiatsu using your feet in a whole new way. And the Ruthie Hardy is the founder of Ashiatsu Deep Feet Bar Therapy and created the first nationally approved course for a Western barefoot effleurage technique using bars on the ceiling. Learn more about deep feet bar therapy and view their e-learning courses and live workshop calendar at www.deepfeet.com. So I will share a few minutes and give my review. Again, I am a licensed massage therapist that is licensed in the state of New York. New York State is the hardest state to get your massage therapy license. They require 1,000 hours and the laws are stricter than everyone else. So I will be reviewing this course from that perspective of I'm from New York State. This instructor is from Colorado and Florida area. That's the state she's worked in the past. I've only worked in New York, so I know New York rules and laws. I do not know Colorado massage therapy laws, of Florida massage therapy laws. So that is the perspective I'm coming from.
We're going to go into a double parallel glide, and we're going to add tapotement. To do this, we simply do alternating tapping to the tops of our knees. The most important thing here is when we start our tapotement, we want to make sure that we're below T1, so that way we don't put any pressure on that cervical dish and we avoid hyperextending the neck. So back into neutral position, keeping those heels together. We'll work slowly, making sure I'm below T1. I'll start with my alternating tapping. Making sure you're doing a nice rhythmic tapping. You don't want it to feel chaotic, as this will be uncomfortable to your client. All the way down. And we do.
Okay. So I feel like it's important to mention in this technique, she's on a stool that you see here on the right. Her legs only go so far where she can only hit this area. So if someone doesn't have like super long legs, they're going to miss this part of the lower back. Also, she didn't show any techniques of getting this portion. So you're missing portions of the back when they get a shiatsu in a seated position. Also, she is touching this client with her clothes. So people are so scared of COVID-19 and getting sick and dying of COVID-19 and everything. Well, if she had 3 clients in a row and she used this technique, she'd hit the first person with her clothes touch. If she didn't change her pants, then she goes to the next person. The second person gets touched in this exact way with the clothes. And then, like, they got whatever germs was on the other person. And then The third client would get germs from 2 other people just by touching the clothes, and it would be transferred from clothes to skin contact. So this is demonstrating bad hygiene. So she really should be wearing shorts, and then they should have like at least told you verbally, you just, because they said to do this technique you have to start with clean feet, so you need to wash your feet after every single client. But technically you should be they should be washing their legs and feet before and after every single client. So they really should be wearing shorts. They should not be wearing pants. So that is my disclaimer on this. And are people really going to be happy if they're complaining about lower back problems and they're like, well, you didn't reach my back at all? So let's see some more technique.
Do not do tapotement on the way back up, as we'll be working against ourselves. Coming back, and I'm going to show you a way to increase the pressure. When I want to increase the pressure of my tapotement, I simply dorsiflex, coming into a more specific point in my heels, and then I do tapotement. Alternating the tapping, we're continuing to warm up and hydrate the lamina groove, the rector spinae group, and coming back up all the way over the intercostals, rhomboids, dropping my heels and using my arches to push the shoulders down and gliding over the scapula, stripping the deltoids, triceps, making sure you go all the way down to the olecranon prop.
So as you can see, to me, as a licensed massage therapist, we live in a society where we do most things with our hands, so like we pick up our computer with our hands and everything like that. To me, to do this technique, you would have had to learn how to do more things with your legs and your feet as a child, then teenager. And so then when you're an adult and you chose to be a licensed massage therapist and you wanted to do Ashiatsu training, that way, like, this technique wouldn't be a burden for you, because she's sitting down and bending her knees up and putting them, which to me looks like awkward positions. Then also she showed like broadly just going over the shoulder blade and this part of the arms. So there is no specific work. So if people need deep tissue, which is, we're going to try to thoroughly work every single knot in this area, that work is not going to get done with someone working with their feet on you. This is more what I would call a broadening and lengthening stroke, Swedish style, with your feet. So you may feel deep pressure, but it's not going to be deep tissue because you're not doing specific work. Deep tissue, you're trying to get the top layer of the muscle, at the very least the middle layers of the muscle, and trying to get all the way down to the bottom layers of the muscle to work out all those possible knots, muscle tension, or trigger points. So again, broadening and lengthening strokes with your feet. And like, I can't really say if the pressure is effective or not because I've never had this done. I tried to pay someone in the past to do it, and the massage therapist was like, I don't have my bar up in the ceiling. Like, I'm certified to do it, but I don't have my bar up in the room, so I can't do it. So I've never tried it personally myself. But for me personally, it looks like it would be awkward. It looks like my legs would get really, really tired. So like in the past, people put the suggestion in my head, you should learn how to do the Ashiatsu stuff. And you could charge more. And, like, well, this is good if you just want broad and lengthening strokes. And it's easier to do deep pressure on people. But if people actually want their knots worked out, it's not going to specifically get all their knots worked out. That is my assessment.
Process and heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. Bringing my heels back into neutral. It's always nice to end with a broad surface stroke. So I'm going to do another double parallel glide. And dorsiflex at the end. Holding your knees, thighs, or stool.
Now, I will say I have done accidents before in the past, and when I had my own massage therapy business where I accidentally bumped people with my clothes or whatever, but it happened like with one client. It didn't happen with every single client in a row. And then I changed my clothes the next day, so it was like fresh pair of clothes. And it just happened every once in a while. And I felt bad for that. But literally, it bothered me because it's like, oh, if you accidentally touch someone with your clothes, that contaminates your clothes. And technically, if you wear those clothes the next day, you really need to be washing your clothes because they got contaminated because you bumped someone during a massage. Now, what do I mean by contamination? So some people have super sensitive skin where it's called, I understand this terminology because I took general microbiology at a local community college in the area where I lived in my mid-20s. So the whole terminology is, a lot of times people call folliculitis of the skin acne. But what that is if you touch someone else's skin and then you touch your skin with the bacteria that's on their skin, it causes your hair follicles in your skin to break out and you get things that look like an outward pimple. But it's bad bacteria from someone else that got on you. So when I say there's cross-contamination, it's like, well, if you touched, if someone with your clothes and then you accidentally bump the next person, the next client, and blah, 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 like, they're getting all that, like, that bacteria of, like, you touched this person's skin, then the next person, and then the next person, and they could develop folliculitis because of that bad hygiene practice. So, they really should go home, take a shower, put some preventative folliculitis, or like, it's like wash yourself with soap and water after a massage because it's like someone else's skin was touching your skin if you have real sensitive skin. Maybe people don't have real sensitive skin and this doesn't matter to them. So they'd be like completely fine with clothes from one person to the next person touching them. I don't know. But like, everyone was freaking out over COVID-19. This is why you're supposed to have good hygiene. You're supposed to like take a shower every day. And for clients, for massage therapists, and that's why massage therapists, whether it's they're working with their hands or their feet, you're required to like wash your hands after each client and before the client in the beginning of the day. So it's, I don't know, the clothes thing bothers me. And seriously, when I accidentally bump somebody with my clothes, it always bothers me because it's like, technically, that's like, if you accidentally bump the next client too, then like their their skin bacteria or whatever, or natural body, whatever it is, skin cells contacted your clothes, and if someone else accidentally bumped you or you accidentally bumped them, then they have that on their skin cells or whatever. So that's why it's also important that the clients stay on the table and they don't move around their arms and stuff like that, and they let the massage therapist do the draping and stuff like that too. And sometimes clients tend to be helpful, and it's like, no, 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 no. You don't want to help us drape you, really, for the most part. When we're moving your arm, you can help lift it up a little bit, but don't fight against us because we need to guide that arm or that limb. So I hope you found this video educational, informative of Ashiatsu massage. Again, I have never done this, so I don't know if it's really effective or not, but I tried to use my foot on my own leg, and I was like, yeah, this kind of seems really awkward to like use your foot to try to massage you. And for me, it's like, it's not gonna work for if you need specific knots worked out. So it's more broadening and lengthening stuff. It's something to get deeper pressure. So don't be mistaken that a deep foot massage is going to specifically work out knots. It's going to give you an easier way to do deep pressure. If that's your goal in the massage, to get deep pressure, then I suggest that you find a therapist that does Ashiatsu. But no, they're probably not going to thoroughly work out every nook and cranny of your knots or muscle tension, because their focus, their goal through the main massage is to work with their feet. So, it took me 3 times to pass the quiz. I forget how long it took. Let me look. But it basically took probably a little over an hour, so I was happy with that. The instructor was talking a lot in the beginning and about the history and why she got into Ashiatsu and why she developed it and stuff like that. So I wasn't really paying attention in the beginning of the course, and then none of the questions were on that part of the thing. It was about like, how do you do this stroke? How do you do this? Where do you position your feet and stuff like that? And it's just like, I watched the video one time. I did not know I was required to remember everything in the video. So yeah, I give this video an F, because to me, you need hands-on training. Hands-on, face-to-face training to learn this technique. You can't just learn it from a video, because there is this thing called gravity, and her sitting on that stool being higher on than the table, it seemed unsafe for me. Like, that is my assessment. If I tried to do what she did, I'd probably fall off the stool, and then I'd injure myself. So no, I'm not going to use any of these techniques in my massage therapy practice. I work at a spa. I work for someone else. They wouldn't okay it anyways. But I'm not going to use these massage therapy techniques on any of my clients, because to me, it's not safe, because you're fighting against gravity and you're putting your legs in an awkward position. So we'll see how the next video goes, because they will show actually how to use the bar. So maybe I'll give a more favorable assessment of a like actual bar massage, but like this in a seated position. This kind of seems strenuous on your legs and your feet, and you're not hitting the whole back. And that bothers me, because I'm a thorough worker as a massage therapist. So again, sorry for continuing to go on. I hope you found this video helpful or informative of like a different technique of Ashiatsu in a seated position. Feel free to comment in the comment section if you want. Feel free to like and subscribe to this channel if you want. Until next time.